Hello.
Hi, guys.
All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining me here on the stage. How's our time been in St. Louis so far?
Oh, fantastic. We've had fun, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's
been a
been
good
amazing.
time meeting all of you.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we're all here obviously to speak about Terrifier and how much it is one of the most bloody, disgusting things you could ever see. I wanted to just talk about this real quick. Like I said, it's a shocking, bloody, disgusting, gut-wrenching experience, especially on the first watch, especially for someone who doesn't know what they're getting themselves into. So, David, I wanted to ask you this: when you first became attached to the project, was it presented to you that way? Were you well aware of what you were getting yourself into?
Ah. I knew it was a slasher film,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I know what slasher films are like, but I didn't know we were going as deep as we were into the gore.
Yeah.
And like when I read the whole entire hacksaw scene, I thought that was all just for the reader's benefit to know what was supposed to happen. I was like, okay, all this is going to happen off screen. And I asked Damien about it. Like, oh, no, we're going to show all that. I'm like, oh, my God. Yes. It's like, that's going to get people to talk. So, yeah, it's like I was totally in. But I was more worried about how I was going to be able to eat on set, though. I thought I was going to get grossed out and everything. But once you're actually there and you see how everything's made, it just kind of like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah. It was very impressive to see how much was done practically. I mean, you witnessed it firsthand. Can you just share some insight on what that was like?
Yeah, it's kind of comedic in a way because like you only see what is on camera. What you don't see are all the little tubes going off on the side, and you have all these guys just blowing into tubes the whole entire time. That sounds wrong. Um, so it takes all the ickiness out of it in that way. You're just like, well, this is kind of funny seeing all this because I've been on other sets where they use fire extinguishers to propel all the blood, but we did the old school way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it definitely came across on screen as something that was very believable and at the same time, just like I said, disgusting. But there has to be a lot of pressure, especially when, Damien presents a new idea to introduce a brand new character into the horror genre, especially with well-established characters like Jason and Michael Myers and all this stuff. So, like, what was that feeling like knowing that you had to have full trust in his vision to bring art to life?
It was definitely a daunting task because I wasn't the first person to play Art. That
Right.
was Mike Gianelli who played
Right.
him in All Hallows Eve. I literally had big shoes to fill since I actually wore his shoes. And so I was like, wow. And I know how I am as a fanboy when a new actor takes over a role for somebody else. I'm very judgmental, especially when it comes to Joker and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, God, Leto. What did you do? But yeah, so I was like, oh, God, this is all going to come back and bite me in the butt. I'm like, so I was very intimidated just by that alone. But I mean, at the time, I didn't know that Art was going to take off the way he has.
Yeah.
And I was floored by that. I mean, I was just hoping somebody was going to show this to their parents, and that would be it. I'm like, yay, because I knew there was the All Hallows Eve fans out there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I didn't expect it just to blow up the way it did.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon, and it's spawned multiple sequels. And for the rest of the cast, how does it feel to be part of that? To be part of this new, like I said, new horror villain that's established in the zeitgeist of horror films.
It's bizarre. I would have really never imagined. I mean, Dave and Damien told me because we all went to Outback Steakhouse when I booked the role, and they were like, "Oh, let's take you to Outback." And me and Damien had one of those brownie things. They were so good.
Yeah.
Ice cream?
So good.
And we broke bread, literally. And Dave was actually the one that said, Sienna is going to be the Batman to Art's Joker.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what are you talking about? I really didn't believe that would be the case. And they both just had such... They both really felt that this was going to be something special, which kind of
Right.
made me feel like it was going to be something special. But as an actor, you try not to think about those things. You just
course.
try to tell the story as truthfully as you can. And then Damien would always say stuff like, "Oh, this is going to be huge. It's going to be huge." I'm like, "Shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Otherwise, I'm going to get in my head. I just want to tell this story." But I get to work with really fantastic artists
Yeah.
that are on the stage, and it's just been a dream, really.
Samantha, same question.
Wow. Okay, so it's been almost 10 years since I've probably auditioned for Terrifier, and I literally got the script and was like, yeah, no, I don't think I can do this. This is very intense. But I was like, you know what? No one's going to see this. So I'm just going to, I'm going to do it. It's fine. So to see it go from that mentality to now I'm in love with everyone that I've worked with. I really love the films. I've loved the fans that I've met. It's very surreal. I don't know how to process it because it's going from a place where I knew nothing about who Art the Clown was,
Right.
Damien, and just the world that he was building, to now everyone in the world knows about this world, and it's
Right.
I still have no way to process it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good feeling to have, to just be so overwhelmed by its success that you don't even know what to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just realized it's now been 10 years since we first started filming.
Because we did 2015, right?
Yeah, 2015. Because
Wow.
we started
Yeah.
filming October 2015. Because I remember we were filming on Back to the Future Day, because it's supposed to be the
Yes.
day that
Marty
the
went.
Vince
Yes.
went to the future, and I was like, so that would, we would. Wow, that's great.
That's what,
10 years
October
ago.
15th.
It's been a decade.
Yes.
Scary.
And Elliot, I mean, I would love to hear how you feel about being part of it.
I mean, I grew up a huge fan of
Yes.
horror, and I actually grew up going to conventions as well. My parents were vendors, and I was already a fan of the first Terrifier. My main goal as an actor was to be in a horror movie, let alone the Terrifier franchise.
Yeah, I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like one of your favorite all time. Yeah.
You know it, you
Oh
know
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it blew my expectations out of the water, for sure. And of course, to see the fan response for Terrifier 2, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I already had a lot of faith from what we filmed on set, but it blew my expectations out of the water. And then Terrifier 3 came along, and it blew my expectations even higher out of the
Yeah.
water. It's basically insanity.
Oh yeah, it almost gives us so much anticipation and excitement to see what's going to happen in Terrifier 4. I don't know how much spoilers or things that we can give away right now, or do we know nothing at this point?
We know
nothing.
nothing.
All right, so just spoiler alert, if anybody out there had a question, they know nothing right now about Terrifier 4.
Nothing. The only thing I know is they're gonna show Art's origin at the beginning of the film. I don't even know what origin we're doing, because Damien and I have discussed so many different origins over the years. So I'm like, okay, what have we landed on finally? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited as you guys are. I just know I'm on a bus. So
Not the whole time, though,
yeah,
right?
not the whole time, I hope,
Okay.
but no, I just know.
It's Speed 3 or whatever. it is.
Yeah. Whoa.
Now, David, was it difficult for you to bring this character to life in such a terrifying way, pun intended, without having any dialogue?
I can't say. Okay. It was a definite challenge for me, because in the past I've always developed characters off the voice.
Right.
Because I'm a voice guy. I do over 200 impersonations in 25 different dialects. So every time I take on a character, I figure out how that character sounds first, and everything kind of falls into place after that. And I didn't have that luxury this time. But luckily, I did have the luxury of seeing someone else play the character before me.
Oh, yes, right,
With All
Great
Hallows Eve.
reference
So
point,
yeah.
yeah.
So I had a good foundation to start off of, but I wanted to build on top of that, because the character's name is Art the Clown, and in All Hallows Eve, Mike did a great job, but he played Art as more just a guy dressed up as a clown, and I wanted to actually make him a clown. And I was like, well, this is going to help separate him from other silent slashers if I bring that clowning aspect to him, the silent clown. And I have a long appreciation for silent film actors and
Right.
comedians, and so like Chaplin, of course, Harpo Marx, whose name was actually Arthur, which is amazing. Coincidence. Mr. Bean was a big influence.
Mr.
on
Bean,
me.
yeah, absolutely.
I love Mr.
He
Bean.
could tell a whole story with us.
Oh,
Yes, it's
yeah.
amazing.
But I also had the great honor of being the understudy to Stephen Carl, who was Robbie Rotten from Laceytown for 5 years with The Grinch. I actually came here to St. Louis back in 2011 with the tour of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We played at the Peabody.
Oh, so cool.
And that was a lot of fun. But he was a master class in great physical comedy.
Yeah.
And so I had just gotten off my last tour with that, so that was fresh in my mind. And I even called Stefan up and got some tips and tricks from him. And I just threw that into art, and I guess it worked.
Yeah, it's almost like destiny was like cultivating all
Yeah.
of this talent into you so you'd be prepared for this role. Well, I mean, I thank you all for being here with me. I could sit and ask you questions all day, but of course we have a line of fans, and we do have a time limit here. So we're going to, again, keep it to one question per person, and let's go ahead and state your name and your question. Hi.
Hi, I'm Stella. I just first want to say thank you so much for coming, and thank you, David, for dressing up as Art. I know it's it can be frustrating to have a cosplay all day, so thank you for taking the time to take pictures with us. So my question is, so if Art had to do a big kill and he needed help, what iconic horror character would he partner up with?
Ooh, that's fun. Ooh. I think because I have always looked at him as being the bastard son of Freddy Krueger, so I think that would be a lot of fun. Him and Freddy teaming up. You know, Art gets him in the real world, and Freddy gets him in the dream world. So that would be a lot of fun. I think
That'd be a great mashup.
because they're both very creative with their kills.
Oh,
so I think
yeah.
they would work really well together.
Yes, the collaboration between the two would be really interesting.
Thank you.
Thank
Very
you for your question. All right, hi, what's your name?
My name's Steve. First, David, Jamie, and Paulie from Twisted said hello.
Oh, sweet. Tell them hi.
Yeah, and my question for all of you is: if you guys could kill one person within the franchise, how would you kill them?
Like in the franchise only?
I would chop Art's head off.
Why would you do that?
Revenge.
Yeah. That's the only god. I would say I have to get those two girls that got out of the bar because they're the only people that've actually gotten away from Art and survived. So I think they deserve to get got.
Excuse me.
Well, you know
yeah.
what I mean. But
Yeah.
unscathed.
She killed me.
unscathed.
She killed me.
Get away from him
you
unscathed.
like
They didn't get any marks on them at all.
Yeah,
You know,
correct yourself.
You had your face eaten off.
I
and
did.
all that stuff. So yum.
I would kill Art.
Head cheese.
I actually would kill Art because I think that if Vicky hadn't come up against Sienna, she'd have to probably, after they killed Sienna, which would never be a world where that would happen, but if she did, she'd have to get rid of her competition. So how would I kill you?
With kindness.
Oh, man. Kindness.
I know how I'd kill Dave. I mean, Art.
Great.
But I'm not gonna say. You know who I'd love to kill? Damien. I would love to see. I would love to see him die on screen in Terrifier in the most brutal way. I want him to be covered in the sticky blood that he loves to put on us. I want to make him
gotta be cold.
I want him to wear the costume. Let him wear the costume. Sienna's costume. I think
Wait,
he
he
would
would-
look so good.
He would love that, though.
He would love it. He's so sadistic. So Damien, I would love to see him die on screen.
Amen.
Queen Phoenix
Amen.
dies again.
Queen Phoenix. Yeah.
It's an Easter egg. Like Damien actually makes an appearance in Terrifier 2. He's on the poster of Queen Phoenix. He's Queen Phoenix. We just put a ginger bent filter on him, so that's Damien.
He makes a beautiful woman.
He really does.
That's why Phil was like, oh shit, Dame, you're actually pretty hot. And he was like, yeah. So they put the poster in Sienna, watch it in Terrifier 2. Sienna, when she's working on her costume, there's a poster of Queen Phoenix, of this gorgeous woman, and it's Damien.
Damien.
All right, thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up? What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Robin. First off, I want to say I love you guys. Terrifier is the first scary movie that my sister and I have actually ever gotten scared of. So it was great. My question for you guys is, from being in a horror movie franchise, what horror movie characters inspired yours?
Definitely all of the greats that came before. I deliberately put a little bit of every single horror icon that came before Art in Art. I made him the ultimate horror fanboy. So there's everybody inside of Art, especially Freddy. There's a lot of Freddy in Art, but I mean, Pinhead's definitely in there. Leatherface, Michael, Jason, Chucky, even Dracula. There's definitely a lot of Lon Chaney characters in them. So yeah.
Yeah, that's such a wonderful question. I had the best homework for Terrifier 2, and like self-inflicted homework. I put this on myself. I watched all of my favorite Final Girls. I wrote their characteristics down. I crossed some of them out, and I circled some, and I sent them to Damien. I was like, do you think Sienna is this? Because I think she's this. And he either agreed or disagreed, and we built her from there. But in Terrifier 3, I feel like I definitely brought more of myself as a person, but I really found inspiration with Mia Allen from Evil Dead 2013. Jane Levy, I thought was, I get chills thinking about it. She was so fucking good in that movie. And I feel like we have a lot in common, Sienna and Mia, because they both lost parents. They both are possessed at one point. Like it's just, I could talk about that movie. Bruce Campbell's here. I'm really excited. I love Evil Dead, guys. Like it's no secret. But yeah, that's a great question.
Damien had recommended seeing Betty Davis in What Happened to Baby Jane. Is it What Happened to Baby Jane? I always screw up the title of that. And she's phenomenal in that. That was just like iconic from her switching from just being really like just freakish to kind, and there was these transitions that were just almost like immediate. And then he really wanted to work on cackling in 3, and that was very nerve-wracking to me because you can't really practice that if you're in an apartment and there are people next to you. So I never really got to practice that, but I was going to a lot of horror movies to see if I could get inspiration, but I ended up going to Harry Potter and Helen Bonham Carter as Bellatrix Lestrange. Oh, yeah. She's just iconic in everything that she does, but she's just, her cackle and just her whole menacing presence was a huge inspiration, and I definitely drew from her performance.
Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra. Have you seen that TikTok? Sorry, anyway.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily classified as horror, but Finn Wolfhard's character in Stranger Things, that shy kid that isn't afraid to run away and take initiative in certain scenes when shit hits the fan. But not necessarily just for Jonathan, but he's been a huge inspiration just in general as a fellow kid actor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I have a question for all of you. If you could write and direct your own film, and it could be any genre you want, who would be your hero and villain in it, and what genre would it be?
Oh, damn.
I'll go real quick. I'm writing right now. I'm writing a Western slasher. And there's already actors that I have in mind. There's already directors I have in mind. But I really want to do a martial arts comedy, like a la Jackie Chan. That's the whole reason I became an actor. I want to be Jackie Chan. And I'm writing it, so I can't say who I want. But yeah, think Rush Hour. It would be very similar to that.
Wait, so who hero and villain, you said?
Yeah, who would be your hero and who would be your villain in your film? You could choose a genre, a hero, and a villain. Like
Okay,
any
I'm
actors
just-
you want.
Because I'm also writing as well a feature film that's historical, supernatural, but it's based off of I can't say much. Damn it, because now I'm like trying to think beyond that. I can't say, but I'm writing something that's kind of in the horror genre. It's hard because it's based off of something that's a true story, so I can't, because then it gives everything away, and no one really knows about this story. It's a secret. I found it. I walked into not a bookstore. I walked into a normal lighting store once, and I stumbled upon this book that was very old, and I happened to pick it up, and it immediately drew me in. It's a psychological, supernatural horror, and most people probably have never even heard of it, so I have to keep it on the DL. But
I'm not writing a film, but I am producing. I produced and acted in a short film called Wolf and Crown. It's going to be released this Halloween, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. But if I could make my own, oh man, it would be horror. Horror is like my favorite genre. I would have to do a horror movie. I feel like a great actor that always plays an incredible villain is Giancarlo Esposito, and he's here. And he's one of my favorite actors of all time. So if I could just pick him, that would be insane. And then I feel like another incredible actor as a hero maybe David Dasmalchian could be kind of cool. I think he has a really cool look and a really cool vibe. I've also met him, and he's a super sweet dude. So that would be my pick.
Speaking, can I say something real quick? I just worked on something, David Dasmalchian's directorial debut, and if you've seen Late Night with the Devil, like he's so incredible. So I can't say what it is, but I'm really excited about it.
Congrats on that. That's awesome.
So I'm not a writer or director. I don't have those kind of skills. But
That's not true.
yeah. But if I could like do a project that I would like to see brought to life, I'm a big huge comic book geek, and I would love to reboot this one comic franchise, but do it as the old comic books were. The Dark Horse version of is The Mask. And really bring that back and have because in the original it was very gory and violent, but funny as hell too. And I would love to do that, especially like a Netflix series or something with it. So it was each season could be a different person taking on the persona of the Mask, because that's how it was in the comics. It wasn't just Stanley Ipkiss. Right. It went to different people, so there were different versions of that character, which was a lot of fun. So I would like to do that. I don't know who the villains would be, but it would just be who was ever in his way, I guess you could say. So I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, what's your name? What's your question?
Name's Mike, and thanks for being here. Really appreciated meeting all four of you guys. And my question for all four of you, what was your favorite death in the Terrifier franchise?
I love the opening sequence of 3 with Chrissy Fox. I think that's a great setup to a horror movie, especially a Terrifier movie. I think she's iconic in it. I mean, nothing like her performance and her scream. And we've talked about this a lot on stage, but it's one of those scenes where you don't even see a lot, and yet it's still extremely effective. So that would be my favorite.
Yeah, I feel like it's its own short film. Like it's really so good, and I really love when the child dies. It's my favorite part.
Great. Hide your kids. my favorite was Santa Claus in Part 3, because that was just my favorite film scene that I've done, and I had so much fun with those actors in that scene, especially Danny. The two of us were just having so much fun together, and I feel that is like a true Art the Clown type of kill, where it's sick and sadistic, but also funny at the same time. And we were actually going to go further with that kill, and we just literally ran out of time. I was going to take bits of coal, light it on fire, kind of juggle them around in my hand like, ooh, hot, 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 and then shove them into his eyeballs.
Nice.
Yeah, and unfortunately ran out of time, but we still got the carrot in the nose, because I just love that idea of turning Santa into a snowman. I just thought it was funny. We're also supposed to originally play like Frosty the Snowman song over. He was supposed to go over to a jukebox and turn on the song, but certain things like that had to fall by the wayside. But it's still one of my favorite kills I've done, because it was just fun.
For me, it was the rat scene. That one got me good. I was eating popcorn, and I felt like actually a little dizzy while watching that scene. It's the first scene for me that I actually felt a little sick. I mean, the throw up, the tube down the neck.
Yep.
The rats, yeah. It's not a good combination.
Nope.
No. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great question. Hey, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Reba. I was wondering if there was like any part in any of the movies that you guys just wanted to rip off the costumes because they got too hot or uncomfortable.
I did rip off the face many nights, and then I realized it was not good for your skin to do that. I literally, by like the 20th hour of wearing Vicky in 3, I literally ripped it off. And I don't know if Ryan's here. Yeah, there you are, Ryan. They were not too, they were like, no. It's like their worst nightmare when an actor decides to do that with their prosthetics. I decided not to do it, but all the time when I'm in Vicky prosthetics.
Yeah, it's no secret that I did not like my costume in Terrifier 2. I tell everybody, I let them know how much I hated it, and I tried to get it. And some days it was on for more than 24 hours straight. It was really uncomfortable. I had a beautiful cosplayer come yesterday, and she was like, I can't sit in this. I was like, you get it now. Like, join the club. But I'm telling you, Sam, and we've both been very uncomfortable, but Sam, nobody has been more uncomfortable. She gets head to toe prosthetics, and she's so calm and patient. I don't know how she did it. I would watch her and just be like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but I will say that you were wearing what you were wearing, which is impossible to sit, but you were also in, what was the degree weather?
Oh, it was in Philadelphia and New York in February. I was freezing. There was no heat. I was covered in, and they would spray me down with water to make me look wet and mud. Guys, it was not fun. It was not fun. Hated it.
No,
We were
like,
also underground too.
yeah.
It was also underground.
It stank. You know, it was nasty. That place was just disgusting. I didn't want to rip it off. I wanted to put more on. It was when I was doing the laundromat scene because I was freezing so much in there because they had to turn off the heat, and it was also in the winter when we filmed that, and I was covered head to toe in blood and water and all this kind of stuff, and I was just having to huddle next to the lights the whole entire time just to try to stay warm, and I think that was the best shower I ever took in my life when I was done that night. It was miserable, but I was like, this is gonna look awesome. I'm sorry people had to see what they had to see in that, so sorry, but yeah.
I really did have it the easiest. I was just wearing normal clothes the entire time.
It might be weird if you were naked in these films.
Thank you so much for your question. Hi.
Hi, I'm Megan. This question's for anyone who went through the Terrifier house at Halloween Horror Nights, but if you could have added anything to the house to make it even better, what would you have added?
Oh, I've only seen the house in LA, but I've
It could
been.
be for any of them that you want to.
I'm still waiting to go to Orlando. Oh man, it was pretty epic. From what we had seen, I hear Orlando's just as epic.
I don't know if honestly, I think it's perfect, to be honest with you. I love the interactive feeling with the blood splatter and stuff, with the water. I actually heard the one in Orlando flooded the first night. So that I saw some people got soaked. So I wouldn't change anything.
I'd like to see a Jonathan scare actor in
Yeah.
there.
Like,
Like
we
a
need
Jonathan
Jonathan in
and
there,
Sienna
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that. Them like arm in arm running away.
That's true.
Oh my god, like in the final scene of 2. Yes.
The funny
That
thing
would be
is
pretty
the one person that scared me in the house was Sienna. And she jumps out. got distracted by Art attacking Allie with salt, and I was like, oh, this is great. And like, ah! And I'm like, oh God, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. Just wanted to say real fast, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been lovely chatting with you guys. My question is, if you could work with any horror film icon, whether that's director ranging like from John Carpenter to Ari Aster, or even like Wes Craven, who's sadly no longer with us, or even just like a Scream Queen icon like Danielle Harris, Jamie Lee Curtis, Neve Campbell, who would you all pick and why?
Oh, easy for me. Tim Burton. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. I've always wanted to work with him. I've been a lifelong fan of his. So, I mean, I would even love to be on Wednesday somehow. I love that series. And it was like, I just love his style for everything he does. He's got such an iconic style. So I think he would be a lot of fun to work with, either him or Guillermo del Toro.
I was just gonna say that. Ah. Sorry.
Yeah,
You can still say it.
literally all of them. I also love Tim Burton. Also, I feel like I'm gonna butcher her name. Coralie Fargo. The Substance. Yeah, The Substance. I also just watched Revenge, which I absolutely love, and the lead actress was an Italian actress who I was already a fan of, and I was so excited about that. And I would love to work with Bruce Campbell. I know I already mentioned him. Fede Alvarez. And I also met Finn Parker recently, who did the Smile franchise. And I'd also really would love to work. There was a film that I got an offer, and Kyle Gallner got an offer for. I think he couldn't do it because of work. And I have been getting other offers, and they're asking me, like, oh, who would you like for the male? Because sometimes you can have some pull as the lead actor. And I'm like, can you reach out to Kyle? I would love to work with him. He's a screen king, from Jennifer's Body to Smile to Strange Darling. If you've seen that, it was so good. The list is endless. It's a terribly hard question to answer.
I hope you get to work with him.
Thank you.
Definitely Guillermo del Toro. I'm a huge fan. I was just thinking of Mike Flanagan because one of my favorite TV
yes.
series is Haunting of Hill House. I just think that his horror is incredible. It's psychological. It's emotional. It's everything all in one. And that was one of my favorite series that I ever watched. Yeah.
And Mike is such a nice guy,
Very
too.
lovely.
Yeah.
And
I
Kate
never-
Siegel, his wife.
Yeah, I never got that. Would have been that was my answer, Mike Flanagan or Zach Kreger.
Oh yeah.
Either one of them.
Oh
They're-
God, Weapons was so good.
Barbarian? Yeah.
Oh, Barbarian was one of my favorite
Mama.
horror movies in recent times.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for your question. All right, we got about 10 minutes left here, so hopefully we can get to the end of this line. So in the back of the line, you'll be our final question. Please, no one else jump on the line. Hi, what's your name? And you can actually squeeze the neck of that microphone and pull it down. Yes, squeeze it and pull it down.
Choke it.
Yeah, choke it. You got it. Hey, what's up?
My name is Ryder, and my question is, what is art's design based off of?
He, Damien actually designed him to be basically the opposite of Pennywise. Because he's like, if he's going to design a killer clown, he might as well look at the king of killer clowns and make him the opposite of that. So, you know, Pennywise is very colorful. Art is black and white. Pennywise has hair. Art is bald. Pennywise, you know, talks. Art's completely silent. And so that's where I think he developed a lot of that from. And he has that old school, like, what would you say, the classic, oh my God, clown from like the 1800s. I'm totally like, oh my God, I know the word is just not there right now, but it's that kind of design of the clown from back then too. But he's not a mime though. I always like to correct people on that because mimes do not use props. Silent clowns do, and I think Art would be a failure as a killer if he was a mime. it's like, what are you doing? Stabbing. Like, okay, ow. Oh, you're hurting me. So yeah, hope that answered your question.
Thank you so much for your question. All right, hi, step on up. What's your name and what's your question?
My name is Charlotte, and my question is, what's your favorite cartoon?
I love that question. I am a huge cartoon fan, so I grew up on all the greats. So I especially love Warner Brothers cartoons. So anything with the Warner Brothers, like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all the way to Animaniacs. So all those guys are my favorites.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I love Adventure Time. And I know John DiMaggio's here this weekend. I wanted to be able to meet him, but I didn't have the time. I also really love like Powerpuff Girls. I love anime, like Sailor Moon. If you've ever seen Sailor Moon, I'm obsessed.
One Piece.
One Piece, yeah. There's One Piece people here this weekend too. Anime is cartoons. I could keep going, but yeah, great question.
I love Rugrats. I was a big Rugrats fan.
I actually got to meet John DiMaggio.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
He actually, because I got a Jake the dog autograph, he actually said mathematical in the voice. Nice. Blew my mind.
You lucky bastard.
But I would say, so that was my favorite cartoon growing up. Right now, probably Invincible is really, really good.
Invincible's great. What's your favorite one?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cartoon?
She doesn't know. She watches a lot of them.
All of them.
Just name any one that you like to watch.
You like SpongeBob? My favorite cartoon is Puppy Pals.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for your awesome question. All right. Hi.
Hi, I'm Zephra.
Hi, Zephra.
What's up?
I don't know. I messed this up.
It's perfect. Just go for it.
You're good.
Okay. I don't know. So the first Terrifier, we had a lot of like dread. I remember. I feel like I'm really desensitized and like nothing freaks me out. And I watched it and I was like, holy crap, this is really scary. And the further we've gotten in it and the more mainstream that it's gotten, I feel like we've gotten more humor. We've gotten more, and now with more people liking it, and you see on social media, you've got Katya, you've got the wrestler Rhea, and they all want to be like involved. Do you like the direction that Terrifier is going with getting goofier, sillier? It's really intense, but there's a little more humor in 3 objectively than the first one. Do you like that direction it's going, or would you like to see it return back to like the dread of 1 before it got really like popular?
I love the direction that Damien's imagination goes in, and I will always be on that ride. I do tend to love dark, more realistic. I think that's one of So I'm on the ride, but it would be cool to incorporate some of that kind of original dark flavors from one.
Yeah, I agree. I like to go a little bit more darker, especially in part 4. I think that would be a lot more fun. It's always a fine line we're having to walk filming these movies too, is going too comedic with things. Because comedy's my thing, and so I like to go as far as I can with things, and I always count on Damien just to rein me in and bring me back on all that. So it's always up to him, because we do different takes too on scenes. We'll do a very serious, dark take, and then we'll do very comedic takes. What y'all don't understand is the ending to part 3 was a lot darker than what we filmed. We just had to cut a lot out of it because we were running out of time, and it went to some very, very dark place. And it was even what we filmed was going so dark that Damien's like, we have to do something here to make people laugh, or people are gonna slit their wrists. So it's like, just slap Lauren every time you go by her.
And a lot of it got cut out too.
It was really
though.
dark imagery.
Yeah.
It was worse. A lot got taken out.
So we can go dark. Oh, trust me, we can go dark.
Yeah,
I wish I could tell you what.
Yeah, it was really. I fully agree with these guys. I love humor in dark moments, and I love when something is so dark they find the humor in it. But I prefer when it's really sadistic. And also reading the script, I don't find any of it funny. As Sienna, because I'm reading from her point of view. So again, like Dave said, it's really dependent on how Damien edits it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to be this funny, because on set it wasn't funny. It was painful and uncomfortable.
Sorry. I think y'all said it best. I think that you could also naturally find humor in the darkness when you're watching these films as well. Like my uncle, I took him to the theaters watching Terrifier 3, and any of the scenes where it's supposed to be serious, any like kill scene or whatever, he was like, so I think there's going to be people that laugh and enjoy and find humor, even if there is like, fucked up stuff happening in the movie.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have our final 2 questions here. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name's Chris. I was just wondering, for a series that, has a lot of really extreme scenes to the point where I've read stories online about people, vomiting in the theater, was there ever a scene in any of the films that you guys, had to, stop in the middle of or were really uncomfortable filming?
Well, for me, it was the rat scene that really grossed me out a lot. I don't like puke, and so that really grossed me out physically, but I also had a bit in there that I was very uncomfortable doing because I am a former teacher, and I really care a lot about children, and I got very uncomfortable doing horrible things to Gabby, especially putting a knife up to her throat and having to just be right up there in her face. And Antonella was such a great little actress. I thought I was actually traumatizing this poor child because she just had tears coming down her cheeks. She was shaking, and we stopped in one take, and I'm like, oh my God, I am so sorry. Are you okay? She just turns to me, wipes the tears away. She's like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm having fun. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I feel horrible doing this stuff to you. And I even went to her mom, like, I am so sorry. If anything's making you uncomfortable, please let me know. I don't want to do anything that's just harmful to your daughter. I don't want to traumatize her. She's like, oh, she'll let you know. She's a pro.
Antonella is a pro. Shout out to her. I always kind of tell the same story when I'm asked this question. Certainly a lot of the gags, a lot of the prosthetics can be a lot. But thinking back, there are times when you're on set for so long that you forget to eat, you forget to drink. I remember feeling distinctly dizzy sometimes that I didn't know where I was. I was like, I had to remind myself and ground myself. That doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened. And I remember having to ground myself, looking at one of my scene partners and be like, oh, okay, I'm here right now. We're filming a movie, because these are really intense. I know it's fun when you watch it, and it can be fun, but when you're in it, especially when you're a survivor in this, you disassociate sometimes. It's a really bizarre experience. So that is a good question, but yeah, I might go insane by Terrifier 4. We'll see.
Now, personally for me, I didn't feel like throw up or pass out or anything, but one of my friends snuck into the theater, and he isn't really a horror fan. so he wasn't prepared for it. And during the rat scene, he actually passed out in his theater. So, so I'm exposing you, Ian, if you somehow see this.
For me, when I'm doing the scenes, they're very technical, and I'm usually pretty miserable because, like Lauren said, it's very cold. And Damien has this concoction of blood that he loves to use that's very sticky. So sometimes, like, your legs get stuck together, your arms get stuck to your legs, and you're, like, pulling them off. But it's more of, I tell this to people I meet at the table, I actually still cover my eyes while I'm watching these films. Because I just can't. I will be the person that passes out or vomits. So I literally do this, but after 10 years, I'm starting to do this. So yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
And here we are. We've made it to our final question. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Madison.
Hi,
and
Madison. You're the final girl.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, better watch it.
my question was, how long was the Clown Cafe song stuck in your head?
I literally was sitting at the table yesterday and it was going through my head. That song never leaves your freaking brain.
Yes, it's an earworm. It's miserable. I'm so sick of it. I mean, Leah does such a good job singing it, and we were in Florida last weekend, and she did it live in a cappella. Like, she did such a great job, but I'm so sick of it at this point.
Yeah, now it's probably stuck in my head.
Like you said, it's stuck in my head too. But also, sometimes some of the art cosplayers will have that song, especially after Terrifier 2. They would have like a speaker, a speaker with them, and then it just gets stuck in your head all weekend, forever and ever and ever. Never
I
ending.
sing the DuckTales theme to get it out of my head sometimes.
Well, thank you so very much for your question.
All right,
and
thank
thank
you.
everybody for all your amazing questions. One more time, big round of applause for the cast of Terrifier. All right, we did it. We made it to the end. Congratulations, everyone. Well, please go visit them down at their tables. You'll be here for the rest of the weekend, yes?